Jets. What is going on, Jet fans? And welcome back to another episode of the Jets Ward. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and I'm so excited to be back with you guys. I got a fun one for you guys this evening. But first, if you have been here before, welcome back. You know I always love having you here no matter what. And if you are new here, welcome. If you are a Jets fan or a fan of another team, it does not matter. You are always welcome here in the Jets Ward. Even if you're just a casual NFL fan, just liking to watch the games, you are more than welcome to hang out here. It is a safe space for you. And guys, getting into this, as you know, post June 1st, cuts have been made. The contracts have gone in. The money has come back to the teams. And as you know it, the Jets are the fourth highest team with the most cap space in the NFL. I believe we have around $36.7 million, and there's a lot of different things that we could do. Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, apparently there's contracts down, reported by Connor Long, and on the Jake Asman show, he mentioned it. I think there was an analyst on there that mentioned it, so that's really cool news to hear. But other things could happen. Other players could become available. There's trade rumors going around. Could Tyreek Hill be traded? Jonnu Smith, tight end from the Dolphins, could he be traded? But there is a player that I really, really want to talk to you guys about, because this position on the team, on the Jets, is a position that I still think it's okay. It's great. The Jets targeted it in the draft this year, but there's still not really a veteran presence there. And somebody who's been in the league for a little while, who has experience, who has had some success. Sorry, guys. But the position I'm talking about is tight end. And as you know, the New York Jets drafted Mason Taylor in the second round this year, and we were all really excited. He looks like he could be really good. He's showing out, had 2 touchdowns today in the third and final week of OTAs, and he can block. He's a solid receiver, but he's still a rookie, and we don't know what to expect from him yet. Is he going to have like a Brock Bowers type of season, or is it going to take him a little while to get used to things? We also have Jeremy Ruckert, who hasn't really panned out, but we have his college quarterback on the team now, so there's a relationship there. We have Stone Smart, who, again, showed flashes at the end of the year last year, but he's also really young, and you don't really know what you got from him. And you got Kuntz still on the team, but believe me, he hasn't really done anything since being drafted. So the Jets are really, in my opinion, it's a really weak tight end room that they have. I love some of the pieces that they have. Mason Taylor is by far the best one in the room, but I still think the Jets need to target a player. And there's a tight end that's been rumored to be the team be taking calls on him, and he could make perfect sense for the New York Jets and be a great complement to Mason Taylor and Garrett Wilson. And that guy is one and the only Kyle Pitts. Now, a lot of players or a lot of fans are going to say, this guy's a bust. He is not good. He's still 24, guys. He's only 24. He's been in the league for 4 years. He was drafted in 2021. He was the 4th round pick by the Atlanta Falcons. And honestly, he looked like to be a generational type of tight end coming out of Florida. And his first year, he looked pretty good. He played in all 17 games. He had 68 receptions out of 110 targets. He went over 1,000 yards. He had 1,026 yards and 1 touchdown. Touchdown numbers we wish were a little bit bigger, but he improves on those every single season, which I guess that's a positive, but we'd like to see more. The guy's a matchup nightmare. He's an athletic freak. He's got good speed. He's not the best blocker, but we have Mason Taylor for that. And you could put him as a big slot or just somebody who can line up and run down the seam. He is a matchup nightmare. Problem is, he hasn't really lived up to that number 4 overall pick. His first season in 2021, like I said, he looked like he was going to be a star. Everything that the Falcons wanted. 2022 hits, he gets dinged up. He only plays in 10 games. He goes 28 for 59 for 356 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right, he was hurt, and it wasn't great. Then he comes back, rebound season, we're thinking. He played in all 17 games. He caught 53 passes out of 90 targets. He went 667 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, but for the 4th overall pick and a guy who has high expectations, you'd think he would get more. Now, going last season, he played in all 17 games, caught 47 passes for out of 74 targets, 602 yards, 4 touchdowns. That still okay numbers for an average tight end, but we're expecting him to be a lot better. Like Brock Bowers last year, this Kyle Pitts was supposed to be that in 2021 and be the stud, the new Jason Kelce, the new type of receiving threat tight end, somebody who's really athletic. That was supposed to be Kyle Pitts. Now, he's 6'6", 250 pounds. He is a monster that can fly. He is quick, normally has decent hands. The reason I want to make sense for the Jets, I want him to come to the Jets, is one, him and Justin Fields have a sort of a relationship as well. They work out together on the offseason, and they've been seen throwing passes and working with each other, building that repertoire. So there'd be somewhat of a relationship there already if he were to come to the Jets. But before that, I'm going to argue that Kyle Pitts really has had a non-stable quarterback room. And I'm going to go through the quarterbacks for each year that he had. And you got to tell me, are these really a room that you're going to trust to be able to throw the ball and to do all these things? Now, first season, 2021, when he had his best season as a rookie, he had Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan ended up going 7-10 record. And we know Matt Ryan. It was his last season in Atlanta. He wasn't the same quarterback. He wasn't the same Matty Ice. But he still could make good throws and be this veteran leader. And again, Kyle Pitts looked really good with Matt Ryan throwing him the ball. He was getting him the ball. He got him to 1,000 yards. Matt Ryan, then we know what happened. He went to the Colts and things went downhill for him. And he ended up retiring. But Matt Ryan, in his last year with Atlanta, Kyle Pitts did really, really well. And then the next year, 2022, he had Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder as his quarterbacks. Now, again, he only played in 10 games, but Marcus Mariota was a journeyman quarterback at this point. He was with the Titans, with the Raiders, then to the Falcons, then now with the Commanders. And I believe he was with the Eagles as well at one point. He's a journeyman quarterback who they brought in to be like a mentor to Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder comes in, and he's not the type of quarterback that they thought they were going to get in him. And Kyle Pitts ends up getting hurt, so that's a little bit of an issue for him. So Marcus Mariota ends up going 5-8. Ridder goes 2-2 when he begins to start. Okay, so we'll give it a little bit. He ends up getting hurt. He'll have a bounce-back season. His quarterbacks then were Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heinicke. No consistency. As Desmond Ridder ends up going 6 for 7 and then gets benched for Taylor Heinicke, who went 1-3. Like, there's no consistency. He's going from quarterback to quarterback every single year. And then this past year, he had Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins looked great in the beginning of the season and was getting him the ball. And then as the season went on, Kirk Cousins took a downward spiral and ended up getting benched for Michael Penix, who went 1-2. And Michael Penix was throwing to London and Mooney, who are great receivers. Kyle Pitts is very athletic, and you can utilize him down in the red zone or in the seam, and they just didn't really utilize him properly, in my opinion, in Atlanta. I honestly think that they could have done so much better with Kyle Pitts. I don't think they utilized him properly, and it didn't help that he had different head coaches as well. He had Arthur Smith as his head coach. He had the coach from the Commanders currently, Quinn, as his head coach. And this past season, the head coach there, I don't think he's really that good, honestly. So there's no consistency at the quarterback position for him. So you need that consistency. Think about Rob Gronkowski, and I know I'm comparing the two, but Rob Gronkowski has had Tom Brady his whole career. And look at the numbers he put up. One, because of that consistency. He had the consistency with the same quarterback that built that repertoire. Kyle Pitts was in and out of quarterbacks every single year. How can you get a connection with a quarterback when it's a different one every single year? It doesn't make sense. And I understand people are going to argue, well, he doesn't put in the work, things like that. He's on the field. He's durable. Only one season out of his 4 that he's played, he missed games. All the others, he's there every single game. All right? And you can utilize this kid. Again, only 24. And the one thing that I will hang my hat on for him is he's still only 24. He might need a change of scenery. He might need to get out of Atlanta. And there have been teams that have been rumored. I know the Browns are rumored to be interested in him. I know the Steelers are interested in reuniting with Arthur Smith and everything. I don't think he had Dan Quinn as his quarterback or his head coach. I think Arthur Smith was his head coach there for 2 years and then ended up getting fired. Okay, so no Dan Quinn, but Arthur Smith was there. So Arthur Smith is the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh. So there's that. He could be reunited there. But they don't really have a quarterback right now. They could possibly get Kirk Cousins if they trade with the Falcons too. Or they could maybe get Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers decides to finally make a decision. Or it's going to be Mason Rudolph. It's going to be a new quarterback and everything. I don't think the fit for him there is great. And they're answering phone calls. Eagles are a team that could be interesting to watch as well because they always take chances on these players who have struggled early in their career and then turn them around. And honestly, with Kyle Pitts, I really just think the Jets would be a perfect fit for him. New offense that is going to be completely different, more modern and everything. We're going to be a run-heavy defense or run-heavy offense, but having a 2-personnel tight end unit, I think that could benefit him. Having Mason Taylor as that more of physical blocking tight end than having Kyle Pitts in the slot as a big slot could be really good. It could complement Garrett Wilson a ton. He is a matchup nightmare to defenses. He's so quick. He can get open. He has decent hands normally. I know there were some drop issues that he's had recently, but if he gets in this offense, I think he could flourish. I think he could a new place for him, fresh start, still so young. He's on the last year of his contract as well, of his rookie deal. So honestly, what would it take to get Kyle Pitts? Maybe a 3rd-round pick. Unfortunately, the Jets don't have a 3rd-round pick, so you might want to do like a pick swap, 4th-round pick, and maybe a player. Maybe you send them some defensive players. I know they need defensive help. There's things you could do to make it work. Could you send them a 4th-round pick and Tony Adams, a safety, because they just lost Justin Simmons to free agency? Could you give them Tony Adams, who's a young player as well? So Tony Adams in a 4th for Kyle Pitts, I think that could work. It doesn't seem like Atlanta wants him, and it seems like they're interested in taking calls. I think the Jets would be the perfect spot for him, and I know a lot of fans might be against it, but honestly, I think it could work. A fresh start for a 24-year-old kid. If he works out, you extend him. If it doesn't, he's a free agent. So honestly, with the Jets' new cap space, having the 4th most in the NFL, I understand you want to save it for Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, but Kyle Pitts fits this young, hungry group that could be very underrated this year, in my opinion. And adding Kyle Pitts to a unit where you have Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, Mason Taylor, Alan Lazard, who's possibly going to be our number 2 receiver, or a name that I've been hearing, Arian Smith, who can take the top off of defense, and Quentin Skinner, who I've been hearing is doing really good, and all these other guys that we have, and with that great offensive line, Jets, if you get Kyle Pitts, this could add a whole other dynamic to your weapons room and make the Jets offense a little bit more threatening, in my opinion. He's still young. Give him a chance in a new scenery. I think the Jets should be that team. Now, that's all I got for you guys. What do you think? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think that Kyle Pitts is not worth it? Do you think that the Jets should be in on Kyle Pitts? Where do you think he goes? If you're not a Jets fan, if you're another fan, do you want him on your team? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And again, make sure if you like this video, you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. And again, thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.